Okay, so for the Skillet Lab, all of you guys will be using a bunch of different ingredients. We're making 3 different skillets. We're making, right now I'm going to show you the Italian skillet, and then there's 2 more in the other demos. The first day for both you're making the hash brown, so that's something different. So right now I'm going to show you how to prep for the Italian skillet. I already have a half of a yellow pepper right here, 1/4 cup cheese, and then I'm going to show you how to prep this. So we watched the demo before of chopping. When you're chopping or working with the pepper, you want to clean out the inside as best as you can and try to get the seeds out of there. And then again, a chop is just ununiform sized pieces, so you're going to slice and cut them as you, whatever size you'd like, and then you throw them in with your other peppers. If it's easier for you to break it up into small pieces by hand first, that's fine. You don't need to cut it whole like I just did. And then you just kind of put them together. Again, it doesn't need to be the same size. We just want it to be bite-sized because you don't want to bite into a huge piece of pepper. Alright, and then the last piece. Alright, so there are your chopped peppers. You should have 2. Now I'm going to show you how to do the wet mixture part of your skillet. You're going to have a large mixing bowl because you're going to be mixing a few ingredients together. First we're going to take our eggs and crack them into the bowl, whole eggs, and then you want to put your shells into your garbage bowl. So you're going to do that with all 4. Make sure you don't get any shells in there, you don't want to eat any of that. 3, 4. And then you're going to add 1/4 cup of milk. So you take your liquid measuring cup and your milk, and you're going to look at the 1/4 line, and you need to get it at eye level. That's perfect. Dump it in there. And then it says in the instructions you're going to add in your oregano, so your spices, you'll have that pre-measured. I already did that. 1/4 teaspoon of oregano, that's just going to give it a little more flavor. And then salt, it says TTs. TT, we use that on a lot of our recipes, it means to taste. So you're going to start off with a small amount of salt, then if you want it more salty, you're going to add some more in. So there's that one. Alrighty, now you're going to take your whisk and you're going to mix them together. You keep your whisk down, touching part of the bowl, kind of mix everything around until you see one fluid thing. So see, that's not right because I still have an egg yolk hiding in there. So you want to keep going. So it's thoroughly combined, like that. On the second day of your Skillet Lab for the Italian skillet, you're going to be cooking your Italian sausage. So you need to turn your skillet to high to medium, not too high. We don't want things catching on fire. Add your oil or your fat to your pan and kind of swivel it around, spread it out. You don't want the meat sticking. That's just going to be a nightmare for you to clean. So spread it around a little bit. You could also use like a pastry brush or something, or like a rubber spatula if you want to do it, but that should be good. And then your teacher will have pre-measured sausage links out for you on the demo table. So I'm just going to take one of these. And it's in a casing, so you need to make sure you squeeze it out, and you want it in like little chunks. So you could always, if you, for whatever reason, you put it in there in a big chunk, that's fine. You'll be able to mash it up kind of with your utensil when you're cooking it. But for now, you're just putting it in there, ununiform sized pieces, but again, you want to be able to bite into it. You don't want like a huge meatball. And now it's just going to be cooking. So you don't want to see any pink in it. If pink is bad, that means it's raw. So you're just going to kind of wait. It's sitting in the oil. The pan should get hot in a few minutes, and then we'll come back and you'll see it cooked. As you can see, our meat looks more cooked. You can kind of pinch it a little bit. There's no pink, so that is perfecto. The next step is to add in your hash brown mixture. So I would add it and kind of try to spread it because you don't want it to stick together. And start moving it around as soon as you can. You want everything to get thoroughly cooked and kind of mixed in. So I'm just going to kind of spread out my hash browns throughout the pan. And you could hear it sizzling because it's a little wet. And then we're just going to let that sit for a little bit until we start to see some brown hash browns. now that you can see that the hash browns are starting to get a little bit darker, I added in the peppers because they need to kind of saute for a little bit, for about 4 minutes, just because you don't want to bite into something that's super rock hard. So just kind of move it around to cook it. There's a bunch of oil and fats in here from the Italian sausage. That'll kind of get it nice and cooked. Move that around. And then once you start to see that everything is softening up and gathering some moisture, you're going to add in your egg mixture. So this is your egg, your milk, and then your seasoning. So you're going to add this in. You're going to kind of tilt the pan because you want the egg to be everywhere. And then you just kind of let it cook. I'm going to spread out the meat and the hash brown a little bit so there's egg everywhere. And then it's just going to kind of cook. You'll see things start to boil, and a way to check if it's done, you're going to just kind of tilt your skillet. You see how the egg is moving? That means that it's not cooked. So you're going to kind of let it sit, move it around just a little bit because you don't want the eggs to be burnt on the bottom, but you don't want any liquid in there as well. So you're going to kind of move it around just to see, but not too much because you want it to be flat. Alright, we're going to take a look back at our egg mixture. As you can see, it kind of looks like a scrambled egg on top. So again, I'm going to do the little tilt test to see if there's any liquid running. I don't see any. Move it around a little bit. Everything is thoroughly cooked. So now you're going to take your cheese and you're just going to kind of sprinkle it on top. This is like your little finishing touch. And you'll know your skillet is done when your cheese is melted. Okay, spread it out. And you're just going to let the cheese melt. Remember, you're going to be trying 3 different skillets. This is the Italian skillet, and then you're also going to be trying the Mexican skillet, which another group made, and then the cheesy Denver skillet.